Craig, obviously it's been a damp day today and a damp performance for a lot of that. What were your thoughts on the performance as a whole?
I think the performance probably is where we are in pre-season really. Weren't the best, weren't the prettiest. I think fair play to Hallam, they played their part in the game, especially the first half. We just couldn't get going. As you can probably tell with my voice here, though, quite a strong message given to them at half time. We needed to pick it up. We needed to put our stamp on the game and do things that we're good at, and we didn't do that first half. It could be a catalogue of many things, tough week, heavy sessions, a lot of lads in the gym here now at the minute and the physio. We're a little bit fit on the ground in squad wise, but it's just minute excuses from me really, and it just it's probably a performance of probably where pre-season is, second game in, heavy sessions, but we need to look to go up a level to what we played today.
Yeah, there was, like you said, there's a lot of factors in that. To pick out some positives, what did you think were some of the good things about the play today?
Well, I think I reacted the second half. I think that was a good reaction. I think the second goal is probably a little bit about us and an unlikely sourcing probably Jack. We moved him in front of the back four to just add a little bit of presence in there and try and get Terry a little bit forward. So I think we moved the ball a lot better in the second half. The second goal was a prime example of that. And I think probably the other positive is his fitness. I know a lot of lads in there have played 90 minutes. It's more minutes, in the bank, more fitness in the bank. We're positive. We come out with a 3-1 win. But we know we need to be better, and we've got to look at that not as a negative, look as a positive. Look what pre-season's about, looking what we're not doing right, what we need to improve on, and we need to get back to just probably having more options and more pictures. When we're on the ball, really. When we're on the ball, we've got to have more options, and rather than just going short, long too early, we've got to have more options, more movement, more overloads, and it was evident today that we didn't have that, especially in the first half. But positive wise, you look at it, we want to see these, we want to see the certain areas that we're not clicking at the minute in time, so we can actually get down to in the training and into games and the rest of the pre-season games and get working on it.
Yeah, let's hone in on that second goal. Luke looked like he'd already beaten and maybe one step too far, but manages to get in front of the defender before then. There's a switch of play. Regan's 1-2 and then Jack there to finish. Yeah. Just how good in quality terms was that goal? Yeah,
very good. But that's us. That goal is simplifies probably 80 whatever goals last year that we created. Pulling aside into false security in a way, pull them to one side of the pitch knowing that we're going to go out the other side quick, and then we overload. There were 3 players against their left back at one point, and we managed to get in behind them. And the most vital part is it was a good ball in the box. All Jack had to do was throw his body hit to get it in the back of the goal. So that's what we're about. But it's all right doing it one time in 90 minutes. What we're about is doing that 10 times in 90 minutes, and that's where we get goals from, and that's what we are as a team. But again, we've got to work on that. It's not just something that comes overnight. It does come with fitness, and it does come with getting back on the training pitch and outlining and walking through things and playing through things. So, but yeah, a lot to learn from.
You've also mentioned Jack in your previous answer, and about him pushing himself into midfield. Last season, obviously the season before, he played most of his games in midfield. Last season was a solid unit with Hamza in that back two, and if he was moved into a position, it was normally right back just to cover late into games. Now Connor's up to speed, do you think we might see Jack more often in midfield, and what were your thoughts on his performance?
I think we can't take away what Jack did last year. At the end of the day, he got in the team of the year. He's a centre-half. I see him as a centre-half. But it gives me an option knowing that he has played in there and played in there previously for me, that I know what he can do, and if we just need to push certain bodies further forward, it allows us just to go a little different way in front of the back four. But let's not take away what he's achieved and what he's about. He's becoming absolutely essential centre half. he's quick, he's strong, you know, heads it. I thought he played really well today. You know, if there's any positives out of it, you know, I don't normally single people out, but I thought he played centre half really well first half, and I thought he played centre mid really well second half. But that's what he's got. But you know, most importantly, I see him as a centre half. I see the competition in there it's got to do, and you know, like I said, we have to get, you know, people like Wedge and other people that back to fitness. So then we're not having to change things like that. But that's part of pre-season. You know, that's part of what we've got to do.
Going into Tuesday night, a first taster in pre-season where we've had a Saturday game and then a Tuesday game. For the lads that maybe looked a little bit leggy in that second half due to how good the sessions have been, obviously they had the boxing on Tuesday. What are you expecting from them in terms of being able to bounce back from today's game in terms of match sharpness and fitness?
Well, I think it's going to be difficult for them, but I think in their mind is that obviously they've had extremely difficult sessions, you know, really difficult sessions. So it's another game. You know, we all like playing football. I think they'll see it as positive that way rather than in here, you know, for 2 hours, 2.5 hours working hard, running long runs, short runs, into box, various things that we've done with them. So I think it's a positive that they're back out on the field again, allowing them to, you know, to tone their games up and get match sharpness. We can't just think about running them constantly into the ground and getting them fit that way. Reason I've always done lots and lots of pre-season games and maybe even had, you know, more games to this schedule at the minute is because I believe that the way you do get match fit is getting through 90 minutes and it also makes them click. It makes them get used to where each other play, where they should be doing the certain movements. So yeah, I think they'll be excited to get back out on the pitch again Tuesday.
And I'm sure they'd rather play football than that Rother Valley session that they always seem to go on about. In terms of the opposition then, Ossett, we had 2 very difficult games last season where they both, you know, the first away game at their place threatened to break our unbeaten record in terms of consecutive wins and then nearly broke our unbeaten record here last season. What are you expecting from them now? Obviously, you had a bit of a squad turnaround.
Again, that's, you know, I don't know where they are with the squad wise. You know, it's going to be a tough game. We put it in there because we know it's going to be a big physical competitive game. I'm sure they're going to be really competitive this year, so it's another step up for us. But it's a pre-season game. They'll be wanting to get as much out as we do, you know, exactly the same things we do, you know, making sure the side know what they're doing, how they're clicking, how they're moving, but also fitness wise. So I think it's probably a good game, you know, for both sides at this stage early in the pre-season, just to have a look at 2 competitive sides and 2 strong sides, and yeah, we expect a tough game as anything when we do play against them.